going on, everyone? So it's been a while since I've been on. Been a little crazy. I got a new job, working a new weird schedule, but I had today off and I've got a big road trip with the truck coming up in just about 2 weeks. So it's time to do some things that need to get done. Today I'm going to try to get the front brakes done, maybe get new brake lines on. I won't get them bled today, but at least make some progress. I've also got a brand new exhaust to put on. Got to build that and weld it together. And I need to tidy up some wiring, add some auxiliary power in the cab so that I can have charging for my phone and my tablet I use for the dashboard. So be a lot of time lapses, but here we go. So after I changed the brakes, I took it for a little drive, about 140 miles up the interstate. Ran great, honestly. I discovered on the driver's side that the caliper was frozen, so I had to go get a new one of those. And then while we were driving, I noticed that it pulled pretty hard to the side that I replaced and put a new caliper on. The other caliper on the passenger side actually seemed fine when I replaced it, but it didn't, it obviously wasn't. So it's a couple days later, I'm going to replace the caliper. We actually leave to drive about 2,200 miles in 5 days, partly with the truck. Actually, the whole trip will be in the truck, but I'll be alone and will be followed. So I'm going to do the brakes and hopefully exhaust and rear shocks and wiring today. So a lot of time lapses, but we'll see what we can get done. So this might not seem crucial for the drive, but the truck has been axle flipped and not notched, as you can see, so there's not a lot of room. It was running some Beltec drop shocks, and they were pretty decent, but not really enough rebound to keep it from hitting the frame. So as a temporary fix, I'm going to put some air shocks on. That's what I just installed here. You can see kind of how I routed the lines, and then comes across, and the fill is right over there. So pretty easy install. I didn't feel like I needed to go through it with you guys. If you can install a set of shocks, it's basically just nut and bolt there, nut there, slip them on, put those fittings in, which are very easy. They come with instructions, but you don't really need them. And already I've probably gained 2 or 3 inches of height. I'll be able to tell when I put the truck back down on the ground, but I need to zip tie those up to keep them away from the exhaust. And the next thing will be, I think the next thing I'm going to do is exhaust, because I can wire in the dark, but it's a little bit harder to weld and do exhaust in the dark. So you can see this is the temporary exhaust. This is actually the really hacked together side. It's 2.5 into a glass pack into 2 1/4 that I had laying around. And even in the tune you can see it. I'm just using wire as hangers right now. I'm going to try to put together some much better hangers, or maybe run to the parts store and see if they have any of the quick hangers, just because I'm running short on time. We leave on Monday. Today's Saturday. Tomorrow's the 4th, so we'll be up at camp most of the day. Yeah, that's pretty much it for this update. Be back in a little bit once I pull the exhaust off and I can show you guys what I'm doing. So here's the old exhaust. Again, this is sort of the worst of the 2 sides. Got the job done, but the only part of it I plan on reusing is this little stub right here. I took the O2 sensor out because I need to do some re-welding on here. And I have to figure out how I'm going to get this apart from here, the muffler off the downpipe, or whatever you want to call this. So I'm going to work on that now. This is going to get replaced with all 2.5 with an H-pipe and some MagnaFlow style mufflers made by Flowmaster. The Flow FX series, not the round bullet style ones like these glass packs, but they're actually offset inlet outlet, so they'll look more like a traditional muffler. I'm going to put them farther back in the truck to hopefully quiet it down in the cab a little bit, because it's pretty loud in the cab and not very loud outside right now. So the other thing is I've got full tailpipes, so they'll actually come out behind the rear wheels instead of in front of the rear wheels, which should also quiet it down a little bit. But another update in a little bit. All right, here we are a couple hours later. I did not have time to weld it all, but I did fix a couple of the welds up in those down pipes. I've got it, for the most part, clamped together. I ran out of time to make exhaust hangers too. So it's just wires for the time being. Maybe when I get to South Carolina, I'll fabricate some, but that'll get us there. Should be no problem. So this is 2.5 inch mix of parts store exhaust and a universal crossover kit from Jegs, a couple of FlowFX mufflers and Flowmaster mandrel bent tailpipes. They don't come all the way to the edge of the bed, but they do exit behind the wheels. Better than it was before, for sure. Still not exactly the way I want it, but it sounds much better. It's much quieter in the cab. I'll do a little sound sample here shortly, but that's it right there. See, it's just a lot of clamps. I will weld it eventually, but out of time right now. I need to get to wiring and it's about to rain. beat the rain. As you guys saw, the exhaust is done. It sounds much better. It's way quieter when we drive it. So I just took a data log. I haven't gone through it yet because I need to do a bunch of wiring, and I got to try to do that before it gets dark and rains too hard. I have no way to charge my tablet or my phone inside the truck right now. So I'm about to wire in a switch panel. I planned on building a little mount for it because it's a boat style switch panel like this. And I've got the perfect spot for it, but there's no panel there. It's just a hole in the dash where somebody cut open for a radio. So I think it's just going to get zip tied in place after I wire it in, and I'll worry about building a mount later. But a lot of progress today. Kind of a lot of the stuff that needed to get done. I'm probably not going to have a radiator mount. It's probably still going to be zip ties, but they're holding strong. I'll probably add a couple just for safety, fresh ones. But the ones that are there are in good shape. I did have to modify my cold air intake a little bit. There was a tab, I think, that bolted to something in a Silverado. That's what the intake is for. Nothing to bolt it to in this truck, and it was rubbing against the upper radiator hose. So I just bent the tab out of the way, and I'll cut it off and make it look nicer later. This is kind of just a temporary solution anyway, but it works for right now. It's better than the factory Yukon intake that I had in there before, which was pretty rough. I can't think of anything else. My wiring is still all over the floor. It probably will be. Hopefully I'll get some time to tuck it up while we're in South Carolina. Hopefully it doesn't rain too hard on the drive down or the drive back, or at least the drive down. It's not supposed to, so I think we'll be okay. Long day, pretty tired, but exhaust is in, air shocks are in, plumbed up. Yeah. Well, as you might be able to tell, it's definitely getting dark. It's probably a little after 8 o'clock now. I got the charging installed. It is not pretty, but it works. It charges the tablet, charges my phone. That's where I'm going to call it for today. I think we're, besides needing to clean the truck, it's about as trip ready as it's going to be. So if you decided to watch this, thanks for watching. I'll be posting more as we do the trip. I will have my GoPro with me mounted in the truck. Some time lapses going, so hopefully it picks them up. And yeah, sorry it wasn't more how-tos, but it was a little bit of a crunch today. I can at some point go through how I did the exhaust, but it's basically just slip together, cut to length, and then use hose care exhaust clamps to hold it together. I will weld it at some point, but that was not for today. So thanks for watching, and I'll be posting again soon.